6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the Lions run out of time. 41-34. Rams win. Big game, big implications. Mike and Pete, so many shows, so many shows.com, so many mashups. It's NFL. I'm so tired. I don't even know what week it is. We got nailed with snow. What week is this, Mike? 15, 14?
Week 15, yes.
Week 15. All right, Mike, say what's up because I forgot to intro you.
No worries. Hello, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your football viewing parties this weekend.
Mike didn't enjoy anything yet because he plays tonight, so he'll be miserable right before he goes to bed for work tomorrow.
Exactly. I'll be miserable before work.
So full disclosure, there's only one game available right now while we record that's still on. It's the Broncos 34, the Packers 26. It's Broncos ball 3rd and 4 on the Green Bay 40. So we're going to assume that's a Broncos win for the sake of this mashup. If I'm wrong, I would love you guys to send the message on any social media platform we are. So many mashups.com, so many shows.com, and say, Pete, you're an idiot because you lost. So prove me wrong. Packers were my pick for the Super Bowl in the beginning of the year. Bills looked strong, had an amazing comeback today. I missed the whole game. They were down 21-0 and somehow won 35-31. Do you know anything about this game?
I watched a little bit of the first quarter when we were sitting down for lunch at Perkins out today because I figured I'd just kind of watch a little bit of football, and I saw how they were getting up 21-0 at that point. And I saw that they were, when I got home and was able to finally watch the replays, like the highlights of the game, I saw they were up 24-7 at halftime. They wound up losing 35-31. I saw a crazy stat, though, when I was watching during the game that the New England Patriots have like a 73 points, like they're positive 73 points, so they outscore opponents 73 points in the first half. However, the Bills are positive 96 points in the second half, and it came to fruition today. They outscored the New England Patriots 28-7 in the second half. So yeah, Patriots blew a huge lead, huge opportunity to really try to secure that number one spot in the AFC. And I think now the Bills are only a game back with only 3 games left.
Well, unfortunately for the Patriots, games are not played on paper. Games are played on the field, and that's why the New Orleans Saints have now defeated the Carolina Panthers. And that division with the Bucks and Panthers, nobody seems to want to win.
Yeah, I was really rooting. I was really hoping that the Panthers would just walk away with this one today because then because they play the Buccaneers 2 out of the next 3 weeks, and they could have really taken over that NFC South division. But yeah,
I
they
was
crapped
not.
it.
I was happy the Saints won, and I'll tell you why. I have multiple reasons, but this is what it comes down to. So when the season started, this guy Drake May for the Patriots,
Hmm.
was doing good, and I said this rookie's good. He's really good. Watch out for him. He's gonna have a good season. And here we are. He's having a good season. I don't know if you remember. Scroll back like maybe 5, 6 matchups ago. I said that this guy from New Orleans, Tyler Shroot, whatever you want to call him,
Yep.
he's gonna be a good ball player. New Orleans gonna start winning football games. And last time I checked, they won at least 2 of the last 3, if not more. Also, the Panthers knocked me out of my survivor pool, and also cost me 2 big parlays in the Falcons game. So screw you, Carolina. I hope you don't make it. However, Detroit during the offseason was put in a petition that it shouldn't be based on division winners who gets the top 4 seeds. It should be based on the rankings of the record, which I agree 100% on. If your conference has the first, we're gonna have 16, 8 teams per conference or 7 teams per conference. 1 through 7 should be who makes it, not a division winner who went 9-8 or 8-9. That's
Yes.
not fair to Detroit, who might have 12 wins and not make it again.
Or like last year,
So
the Vikings were 14-3 and were the 6th or 7th seed,
yes,
fourth,
it's
yeah,
bullshit.
5th or
Also,
6th
the,
seed.
the college used to have the weird way, and they said that if they did it that way this year, James Madison and Tulane would be in the first round bye, and people
Hmm.
like Texas Tech wouldn't. So.
Yeah.
When you go to the college level, this thing is bullshit. The division winner, I know, understand you want to reward somebody for winning the division, but find a different way. Find a different way to do it because it's not fair that there's 3 teams get knocked out with 10 plus wins while a team with 8 wins is making it in because of the way your playoffs are set up. Anyway,
And get to
speak.
host the game. That's been driving me nuts for 15, 20 years since I've watching football because there was a year that a team was like 7-9. That was before the 17 game season or 18-week season. They were like 7-9 and hosting a team that had like 12 wins. I'm like, geez, that's just stupid.
Well, that's the other part. Could you do, Carolina with 8 wins? Tell them that okay, you're playing a 10 win or 11 win Detroit team. They're 4 versus 6 seed, say, or 4 versus 5 seed. But because it's 2 more wins than you, then maybe you play in Detroit and not in Carolina. But like you said, then what's the point? What does winning division do if the seeding means nothing? It's supposed to be win your division, get a home playoff game.
Yeah.
But it's madness. Speaking of teams that don't have to worry about home playoff games or playoff games ever, the Jets got smashed by the Jaguars.
Yeah.
The
I saw
Ravens,
the highlights from that one. Holy cow.
The Ravens smashed the Bengals 24-0. So it appears that Joe Burrow, I don't know if you saw his comments this week, that, he needs to find a way to make football fun again. He's just out of it mentally, and it seems like he wants a new home. And maybe he'll get a new home, but like they said, the Bengals are not big on making trades or splashes or stuff like that. However, I did see a lot of mock things out there that said the Jets should give up 4 first-round picks for Joe Burrow in the
Oh,
trade that will allow Cincinnati to rebuild their whole team. So I'll ask you, would you want to give up 4 first-round picks to have Joe Burrow on the Vikings next year?
yeah, people have been throwing that around this week too. Give up three, four first round picks.
And send over McCarthy because he can still be good. He's just not
Yeah,
working with you guys right now. And you give a guy a chance to win now with Justin Jefferson, who also went to where? LSU.
LSU, exactly.
They had some fucking team back then. It was like that. What was it like? There was like an Alabama team where like everybody was like an MVP, or like they were like at one point they were like the best in the NFL at their position. It was like Gurley and Hurts, and it was just a whole collaboration. There was one year where like some of the guys like Gurley was a senior and like Hurts was a freshman, and Hurts
Hmm.
was the backup quarterback. It was just like 8 All-Star NFL MVP players types.
Yeah.
Definitely a Pro Bowl, who's who, and they were all on the same team. It's kind of like what happened. Gary Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Najigba, and there was the other guy. There was three of them that were on like Ohio State one year, and they still didn't win the championship.
Yeah, I can't remember who that third player was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big one. I just remember right now the Chiefs got knocked out of elimination contention for the playoffs. 16-13, the Chargers took care of business. Mahomes tore a season-ending ACL, but I'm sure we'll get to that in injury corner.
Yep.
The Texans took care of business with the Cardinals. I thought the Cardinals put up more points against the Texans than I thought with 20, but eh. The Bears beat the shit out of the Browns. Do we know anything about Myles Garrett's sack numbers currently? Because about 3 or 4 weeks ago they were like he's 5 away, but I haven't heard since. So is he just not having good games, or is he still getting sacks? Did he break that record and I missed it?
I don't think so. I don't think that's a good thing. Good question. I think he had like one like the week like last week. I think they said he was like 3.5 or 4.5 away from the record.
That's what I'm saying. Are they double teaming him now? Oh, so he has 21.5, and I believe the record's 22 now.
I think it's 24.
Now here's where it gets interesting. It was 24 when there
Oh,
was what?
yep, 22.5 sacks.
When there was 16 weeks.
Yes.
What week are we in?
Week 15.
So if for him to truly break the record in where I come from, you got to do it in the next week or two.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Commanders beat the Giants, which, Giants terrible. First pick in the draft right currently. Eagles took care of the business against the Raiders 31-0, which I said there's no way the Eagles lose again. They're going to crush them. The 49ers beat the Titans 37-24. The Saints, like we said, beat the Panthers, so they were 2017. The Rams and Lions, the final Rams won 41-34. The Broncos just beat the Packers 34-26. And the game that I want to discuss first, that go a little tangent, Phillip Rivers lost 18-16, but gave his team a chance to win it. What do you think about Rivers' performance today? Did you get to see any of that?
I didn't get to see any of it. The two games that were on were the Broncos, Packers, and Lions and Rams games. So I saw the one touchdown he had as as a game break, but I didn't see his performance. I haven't even looked up his numbers yet of how he did this today. Were you able to see any of that or not?
So, from what I saw, because I watched in the red zone, so I missed full disclosure. I had to go to work and shovel today, so I was shoveling for like 4 hours, especially during the 1 o'clocks. Missed a lot of the 1 o'clocks, so that's why I don't have a lot of input or insight. I watched the 4 o'clocks. I was home. Red zone was on. Phillip Rivers, he played a smart football game. When I say that, I mean like whenever like something went wrong, where it was a high snap or he like felt there was a blitz, instead of trying to extend the play, he was just falling down, kind of like
Okay.
kneeling himself down, whatever. He had a bunch of missed throws, so I'm not gonna say he was perfect, but I also noticed that he was very good at reading the Seattle defense, and whenever they ran a certain defense, a certain look, he always audible to the running back handoff to Jonathan Taylor, and it was like significant. It would be like 3rd and 7, and he would like call an audible and run like a handoff. So I think he knew at that point that whatever they were running was going to smash whatever offense they had, and that was just or the coach told him, don't make unnecessary plays, and he didn't. The Colts defense showed up to the game and played playoff football and did not give up a touchdown in that game.
Oh,
Seattle
nice.
has 18 points on 6 field goals.
Oh, okay.
So I thought it was interesting. However, towards the end of the game, like the Colts kicker hit a 60-yarder, and then like the Seattle kicker hit like a 57-yarder, and I'm like, in my day, a 60-yarder was like unheard of. It was like you had to be like really super. I remember they would be like, oh, the football NFL record for the field goal was like 63 yards, and it was done by like a guy with 1 foot.
Yep.
Like
Yes.
he had a stump, and his stump like kicked it or whatever, and that was like what I grew up on, and like nobody even came close. And like a 48-yarder in the rain was like hard to hit.
Yes.
these days there's just super athletes with super mechanisms, and maybe the football is different. Like just like a catch in my day, a catch if the ball hits the ground under any circumstances, it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
It was very clear cut back in the day. If the ball hit the ground or touched the ground or touched the grass at any point, it was an incomplete pass. The possession was up for debate, was always a debate, but they really made it so they can control the game with these calls. Yeah, so that was pretty much our quick roundup. Like we said, the Vikings play later. Do you have anything for injury corner?
Yes, you mentioned it earlier. Patrick Mahomes torn ACL.
That's the big one.
That's the huge news out of the day,
Actually,
out of today.
actually, Mika Parsons is also pretty big, but I'll let you get into that.
Yeah, we don't have a definition of what's going on there yet, but yes,
But
Mahomes torn
if you watch,
ACL.
listen, I don't want to cut you off, but I know enough football to know that a non-contact football, like a non-contact knee injury or foot, when you don't touch nobody and you're running and the camera shows like you just stop and grab your shit and fall down. I've seen it in wrestling. I've seen it in plenty of sports, soccer especially. You blew out something.
Yes.
Whatever it is, I don't see him coming back. At least this season, he might be back for the playoffs. He might be back at the end of the playoffs. I might be able to, get recovered. But from what I see, the way he got taken off the field and the look in his face, I don't think he's coming back this season. What do you think?
Yeah, it looked bad when I saw they were working on him, and then I saw the replay and saw that he just kind of planted his left foot and just instantly grabbed his left knee. So if it is something serious like a torn ACL, MCL, I don't see him playing in the playoffs. Same with Patrick Mahomes. Both of these injuries, both knee injuries.
Well, Mahomes was listed as season ending.
Yep, but a
Yeah,
torn
that was
ACL.
recent.
A torn
Yeah.
ACL, I don't see him playing even up through halfway of next season because a torn ACL, I think, takes like 10 to 12 months to heal.
Well, that gives Kansas City a nice chance to rebuild their team a little bit there. And they're not making the playoffs. They're
Yep.
going to get some good draft picks that can kind of maneuver and work a lot of stuff. Anybody
Yep.
else?
They're
Well, I also
setting up
saw that
a
Watson for the Packers went down. He has a chest injury. It's not determined what it is yet. See, it's hard in injury corner because we just see people go down and grab shit. Like I saw Devontae Adams grab his hamstring, not return to that game, but came back
Oh,
from the locker room. So, and we know that he's been favoring a hamstring, and he's been working with a hamstring injury in these games.
yes.
So I wonder if he finally just like it finally just snapped on him or whatever, pain medication he was using wore off real quick and he need to go get some more. But he did not return to the game, which is the big one.
Yep.
Also, at some point I saw Puka go down, grab his leg, but then he got right back up and he was back in the game and finished the game. So that was what I got as far as like big names on the injury corner. What else? Anything else that stood out to you today that you thought was interesting? I saw the favorites one, so if you're betting, you did good probably. It's interesting enough because I was watching the Pat McAfee show and they were saying that like only one time this year has the public made money off of betting. Like one
Oh,
week this year,
really?
and we're in like 15 weeks, so it's been like 3 months, and the public only won one time. However, I'm looking at the score sheet for today, and a lot of favorites won outright.
Yeah. I think the Packers were favored, so them losing that probably,
Which
went a
also
little
it makes you
bit.
think because Denver was one game above New England and in first place for the conference, and now they got to be at least two games, and now Buffalo is one game behind New England, I think, for the division.
Yes. Yeah, it's
So New
gonna
England is one loss and one New England loss and one Buffalo win away from being like the 7 seed.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with the NFC too. You got Seattle Seahawks at 11-3. You got the Rams at 11-3, and they play each other Thursday night. I don't know where that game is, whether it's Seattle or
It don't matter. It's a great
yeah.
freaking game,
I
Jesus
know. I'm
Christ.
I'm going to be watching that whole game because you got two 11-3 teams playing. They're playing for not only the number one seed, but also the division win and
Yes.
home field throughout. All that stuff's on the table. So it's going to be a hell of a game on Thursday night. I'm really
We
looking forward
also
to
get
that.
Carolina versus Tampa straight up next week too.
Yeah, and with them losing, with the Panthers losing to the Saints this week, Buccaneers losing to the Saints last week, and losing to Atlanta on Thursday night, it's just like you said. It's like does either team want to win the division? It's like they're just they're losing to teams they shouldn't be losing to, and they're
Or is this
they'll
guy
figure it out.
Stroud in New Orleans that good? And next year, after a couple of draft picks, are they going to be ready to go?
Yeah, maybe, hopefully,
Sorry, excuse my cough. I was
no
just looking at the
worries.
Jets. I was looking at the Jets score again in the highlights. I decided to almost throw up. But
Yes.
yeah. So anything else before we say goodbye?
No, tomorrow night's what is it? Miami and Steelers tomorrow night. All right,
Yeah,
AFC
yeah,
West,
because the Ravens
AFC
won
East.
today and took care of business. The Ravens are just like right on their tails, so that sets up a interesting dynamic. But I think all the good games that I watched today, were all right. And I always watch football because I love it for the love of the game. So it doesn't matter who's
Same.
playing. I'll put on a high school football game on a Sunday morning before I go to the gym just to high school football game of the week just to get football in my life. But
Yes.
yeah, that's it. We love football, and so the initial belief is that Packers edge Russia from Adam Scheffler 9 minutes ago.
Okay.
Edge rusher Micah Parsons suffered a torn ACL today per source. There'll be further testing to see if that is the case. So on that sad note, Green Bay losing one of them big pass rushers that they traded a lot for.
Yes.
Similar to Sauce Gardner being out, which Indianapolis traded a lot for.
Yep.
Sad when that happens, but it seems like the teams that made the trade, like the Cowboys and the Jets, look like the winners and not so stupid in that situation. But we'll see how stupid the Jets are if they give up 6 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. But for so many shows, so many shows.com, so many mashups, NFL. Pete, Mike, see you later.
Talk to you on the next one, everybody. Have a great week and enjoy these games as the season winds down.
35 red, blue, said I.